Water, the source of life on this planet. We need water to sustain us in every facet. Water is fundamental and universally available to most of us. We consider it to be our human right. But what happens when you have to give your entire life just to get water? That's the case for many rural women and girls in Sub-Saharan Africa. Women and girls in Sub-Saharan rural communities carry the overwhelming burden of clean water scarcity. For them, water can be oppressive, all-powerful, disempowering. Margaretia and Makilina is 60 years old. She's lived in the community of Chimpako since 1981 and raised 5 children here. The only problem? There has never been a clean, reliable water source. Still, now that her children have grown, it was supposed to get easier for Margaretia. But 6 years ago, one of her sons passed away from complications from anemia, and his 6 children came to live with her.
We had a lot of problems. We would walk in groups late at night and sleep at the old water source and wait for water. There was not enough water to care for the whole community, so we would sleep there hoping to be the air beds. I would go to collect water 2 times a day, and each trip would take at least 2 hours. I would have pain all over my body after the long trips. We would be drinking together with animals from the same contaminated water. Sometimes we would get diarrhea and the children would get sick as well. You could see little white things in the water from the old source, and I am sure it was those things making our children get sick and miss school. Women used to fight a lot too because everyone was trying to get water. I never got in a physical fight, but I have exchanged some words with other women. I would wake up at 12 a.m. to collect water, get back by 3 a.m., sleep a little bit, then be up at 5 or 6 to go work on the farm. I would collect water again around 3 p.m. I would be back with a little time before I would go to bed around 7. And then I would do it all over again every day. All we thought about was getting water.
Day in and day out, water was Margaretia's life. Meanwhile, 5 miles away in another community, Makilina struggled with the same challenge of unclean water, and soon it became a lot more scary.
We were struggling, especially during the rainy season, because the rivers were flooding and the water was disgusting. Some people do not have toilets, and they would help themselves around the river and would drink that same water. I was one of the victims. One time, I had a running stomach and I fainted, and I had to be carried to the hospital. It was so intense, like nothing I had ever experienced before. I'm sure it was because of the water. I started vomiting and using the toilet for a whole day and through the next morning. Then I fainted at the toilet. My husband found me and tried to wake me up, but I was unconscious. When I finally came to, I was more sick until I passed out again. The hospital is very far and transportation was an issue. A motorcycle could not reach me where I was, so I had to be pushed on this pedal bike. There were 2 people holding me and 1 person pushing the bicycle. Finally, after passing through the roughest patch, my husband was able to call for a motorcycle to take me. It was a long journey. I spent the rest of the day and night at the hospital until I was able to recover. My story was very common in our community.
The Sonder Project believes that water should be a right for all women. When the Sonder Project partners with rural communities in Burkina Faso and Malawi to construct deep water wells, women can access clean water anytime, any day. Margaretia and Makilina both have new Sonder Project wells in their communities.
I feel better now. I have strength. We don't get stomach problems like before. We sleep peacefully. The women are getting along much better because we are free now. There is no need for arguing. We just want to live in the freedom we've been given through the well. It doesn't take much time to get water now. I have more time to work on a farm, and I just started a garden to grow more vegetables for my family. Today, with a few pumps, the water passes smoothly through my throat and it makes me so happy.
We have benefited a lot. Now we are enjoying clean water and we are very happy. Most people in our village do not encounter the problems I had anymore, and our children are not struggling with water at school. We are very grateful for this well. I can collect clean water anytime I want now.
When the Sonder Project drills a well, women stand to benefit the most. And with each project, these same women are not just recipients of these programs. The Sonder Project prioritizes women as decision makers and leaders, always demanding a balance of women and men in community committees required when planning a new well. In the end, they have more time, improved health, greater opportunities, better relations with their community. It's a transformation from oppression to freedom, from disempowerment to empowerment, from a great hardship to a right to be celebrated. From water is her life to water is her right.